Logical evening to all of you. Hello, everyone. So, how is the day? We are nearing our weekend now. So, next week, almost at the doorstep, you can say. So, what do we need to check whether we have completed our resolution or we are keeping the resolution that we had taken in this week and be prepared for the next week's resolution? I know these are very small things, but then if you are able to follow it sincerely, it shows your sincerity in the preparation level also. So April 28th, the first editorial of the Indian Express, that is the Maoist reminder. So those who do not know who Maoists are can read about Mao and his ideas, ideology. Maoism, Maoism. You have another word to note down in your notebook, and the heading of that page should be to read. इतना एक सेक्शन बना लो कि इसके ऊपर पढ़ना जरूरी है, लिखना कुछ नहीं है, पढ़ना जरूरी है. So a few articles on this, you would know what is Maoism. This is those who want to go an extra mile, and those who cover an extra mile definitely will go ahead of the others. Keep that in mind. So the Maoists have struck in Chhattisgarh after a lull of 2 years. Even if you do not know the meaning of lull, that we can understand that they have struck after or after 2 years. So lull kya hua? Break. The Rangers of the District Reserve Guard, a special unit of Chhattisgarh Police, recruited locally, and their civilian driver were killed Wednesday when the extremists triggered a blast using an improvised explosive device in Dantewada district. The security forces will track down the killers for sure, but the deaths are a reminder of how any deviation from the standard operating procedures in most affected territories is fraught. Author says they will track down. वो तो कर लेंगे, ठीक है? But के साथ देखो जहां कहीं भी ये connectors आते हैं, you need to understand that there's a twist in the idea. The deaths are a reminder of how any deviation from the SOPs in most affected territories is fraught. It's full of danger. इसका मतलब self complacent, self satisfied नहीं होना चाहिए. अगर तुम आराम करते हो, when you rest, right, then what is going to happen is it's fraught. That means full of danger. So if you rest, it is full of danger. ठीक है, खरगोश और tortoise की, the hare and the tortoise, you've heard the story. The hare rested and the tortoise went ahead of him. Even if you give a small break to your preparations, others are going to overtake you. इतना याद रखना हमेशा. So you never need to be relaxed. हाँ ठीक है, 5 महीने रखे हैं, अभी हम आराम से कर लेंगे, ऐसा नहीं होगा. Same thing the author is saying that see when the state got relaxed, ठीक है अभी माओइस्ट अटैक्स नहीं हो रहे हैं तो थोड़ा आराम से काम चल रहा है तो फिर ये आराम की वजह से the people that is there is a slag and then the others are going to buck up in that time. So complacency can extract a heavy price. This is what I was explaining to you. सेल्फ satisfied होना उसे रेस्ट मैंने लिखा है यहाँ पे complacency means self satisfied, right? So if you're satisfied with all the work that you're doing, that means you're smug or you are complacent. And this can extract a heavy price. Extract is to take out. So it's going to cost very highly. The Dantewada incident is of a piece with previous Maoist attacks on security forces, the same season, terrain, and a similar pattern of attack. Of a piece with means similar. Exactly. Season same hai, terrain same hai, pattern same hai. Wherein a convoy tracking intelligence information is targeted with precision and a prior plan. Well planned out, precise is exact. That means this was exactly the same thing, identical you can say, to the previous attacks. Right? Here, a reminder of how this will become the main point, as I said. ये उसका explanation है कि देखो उन्हें इतना वेल प्लान्ड प्रिसीशन के साथ उन्होंने काम किया है. इसका मतलब you gave them time enough to plan out everything. This is what the author was saying, that complacency extracts a heavy price. That means you should not be complacent. By all accounts, the Maoist movement in India is shrinking from being the greatest internal security threat to our nation. As the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh described it in 2009, the Maoist movement is now restricted to pockets, mainly in Chhattisgarh. As per Home Ministry records, Maoist violence has come down by 77% since 2010, and deaths of security forces and civilians have declined by 90%. The number of Naxal affected districts has come down, declined, has come down, restricted. It come down from more than 200 in the early 2000s to 90, with violence mostly reported from 25 districts. Maoist movement is hardly a force now in states such as Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Jharkhand, Odisha, and Bihar. Once its strongholds, मतलब पहले यहाँ पे उनका बहुत ज्यादा वो था, होल्ड था, कंट्रोल था, but not now. So, however, the Maoists have taken advantage of the southern Chhattisgarh geography of forested terrain bordering Maharashtra, Odisha, Telangana, with poor transport and communication facilities to build a base. What are they doing now? Building a base in Chhattisgarh. Why? Because of the geography, because of that forest terrain, and because it is bordering Maharashtra, Odisha, and Telangana. In recent years, security operations as have turned the heat on the movement and impaired its ability to recruit and operate fully. All this was done in the districts, in the states of Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Jharkhand, Odisha, and Bihar. ठीक है? क्या हुआ था? Security operations have turned the heat on. That means they have increased their operations. Their ability to recruit has been impaired and they are not able to operate freely. So, with the emphasis on violence, the Maoist movement has also hollowed out as a political project and seems hardly in a position to expand its cadre base. So, if you talk about violence, also that means what these the states are doing, or what the governments in the states are doing now is they have held these Maoists in control or in reigns, right? At the same time, the state has not only expanded its security muscle but has also built both physical and social infrastructure in left wing extremism affected districts and worked on development projects. Right? This is what the state has been doing, how to hold the Maoist in their control. Here, I've marked it all. The Maoist movement is hardly a force now, once its strongholds. However, the Maoist has taken advantage of, ये हमने समझ लिया है. Recent years, security operations have turned the heat on. This is what they have done in the states, right? So their point here has been justified that this is what their actions were regarding the security of the states, and this is the reason why there has been a reduction in the data connected to the Maoist violence. It has come down. So this particular paragraph is simply giving you the data and the reasons why this has declined. The point still remains there that after a break, they have raised their heads. That means the government should not be relaxed on their count. Combination of policing, rehabilitation packages, and welfare succeeded in Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, other states. Where Maoism had peaked in the 1970s and 80s, Chhattisgarh has been a late entrant in anti-Maoist operations. It wasted precious time on civilian militias like Salwa Judum before course correcting to train its police forces. Expand the welfare outreach. अब उन्होंने police forces को train कर दिया है, expanding the welfare outreach also. This is the right path as evident from the sharp decline in Maoist attacks and killings. The task is to pursue with this strategy without lowering the guard. That is it. Understood? The first paragraph and the last paragraph, last line. Your task is done. मतलब छोटा सा पैसेज होता है, इतना आसान होता है उसमें से सेंट्रल आइडिया निकालना, मेन आइडिया पकड़ना ऑथर की. दैट इज व्हाट आई से ऑलवेज. दिस शुड नाउ बिकम योर हैबिट. इंस्टेड ऑफ वन यू शुड बी डूइंग टू थ्री, और सेकंड करना तुम्हें यही था ना. That this was a resolution. So I hope this takes hardly 10 minutes, 15 minutes with the words also. The movement is in decline. Maoist movement की बात कर रहे हैं हम, समझ में आ जाएगा. Decline था, second paragraph data. Killings in Dantwadi suggests this is the incident that happened now, the present incident. That there can be no lowering of the guard, no relaxation. ये नहीं करना है, राइट? क्यों? क्योंकि ऐसे इंसिडेंट्स फिर हो जाएंगे. तो what should the state do? What should the government do? It should train its police forces and come up with the welfare, that is security plus welfare. इन दोनों पे काम करना है. बाकी स्टेट्स ने कर लिए, अब इस स्टेट को करना है, छत्तीसगढ़ को. That is it. Why I wrote this was that you need to understand that when you mark the central idea of a particular passage, you need to focus on whether the points are covered or no. The contextually, this should be a very compact sentence, but the context has to be the same. Coming to vocabulary, lull, we said break. Break के साथ हम respite एक अच्छा word है, वो लिख सकते हो तुम. ट्रिगर हम कर सकते हैं, इलिसिटेड. इनिशिएटेड होता है, ट्रिगर करना मतलब स्टार्ट करना, इनिशिएट करना. प्रॉम्प्टेड और इलिसिटेड आल्सो कैन बी अ गुड वर्ड हियर. फ्रॉट इज, वी नो, फ्रॉट वी हैव डन मेनी टाइम्स, इट इज फुल ऑफ, फ्रॉट विद डेंजर होता है. यहाँ पे टेंस या एंग्शियस भी आप कर सकते हो. कंप्लेसेंसी इज स्मगनेस. आई यूज दिस, सेल्फ कंटेनमेंट और सेल्फ सेटिस्फाइड. प्रिसीशन, राइट? प्रिसीशन इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स होते हैं, exact, accurate, and then a person who is very perfectionist, he needs everything precisely the same. That is fastidiousness. He's a very fastidious person. ऐसे आप use कर सकते हो. I'm getting a new word for you. Shrinking, decreasing, attenuating. Attenuate का मतलब होता है thinning down. ठीक है, तो shrinking, thinning. पॉकेट्स, जैसे हमारी शर्ट्स में पॉकेट्स होते हैं, वैसे सोसाइटी में एरियाज में भी पॉकेट्स होते हैं. ऐसे पॉकेट्स जहाँ पे एक कम्युनिटी के लोग रहते होंगे, एक तरीके के लोग रहते हैं, मतलब एक रेस के लोग रहेंगे, बट देन दे आर इन पॉकेट्स ओनली. दैट मीन्स स्मॉल रिसेप्टिकल्स और स्मॉल सेटलमेंट्स, यू कैन से. टेरेन इज टेरा. टेरा मीन्स लैंड, right? Terra is land as a root word. So you have the word territory, you have the word terrain, you have the word, say, terra incognito. Terra incognito भी एक वर्ड है टेरा से, मतलब रूट वर्ड है टेरा जो. तो इसका मतलब incognito is you do not know. So terra incognito, that you are going on that land which you do not know anything about. Then you have the word terrestrial. So terrestrial animals होते हैं. hollowed out is thinned out. मसल, उसने मसल यूज किया था. अब मसल यूज करना मतलब उन्होंने ज्यादा लोगों को सिक्योरिटी में ले लिया था. इन दिस कंटेक्स्ट इट वुड बी दिस. अदरवाइज शो योर मसल वुड मीन शो योर पावर्स, शो योर वेट. इट कुड ऑल्सो बी इन्फ्लुएंस. एनीवेयर जहां पे तुम अपना दबदबा या रौब दिखाते हो, वो आपका मसल हो जाता है. दैट इज योर स्ट्रेंथ और पावर और इन्फ्लुएंस और वेट, वट एवर, राइट? So that's all for today. And thank you. And see you tomorrow with the next editorial and a new set of words. Thank you and have a logical day ahead.